Hello everyone, it's Hidej. We're going to do another famous Shogi games video, and we're going to take a look at one of the greatest Habu Sato game again. This game was played on February 14th and 15th, 2006, as a fourth game of the 55th Osho title match. The winning count so far was 3-0 for Habu. So Sato was going to lose this title match if he loses this game. So of course he tried to win this game with all his might. And this game is one of the most exciting in their games. You see many interesting and exciting moves by both players, especially several magical moves by Habu. So let's see if those moves work against Sato. Okay, now playing black with Sato, he played pawn to 7f, 8d, 2f, go to 3b, go to 7h, and 3d, 2e, and bishop exchange. So it's white's one turn loss bishop exchange. White takes with the silver, silver 2b, H pawn, white replies, silver 4h, silver 3c, pawn to 3f, signaling a rapidly advancing silver. Okay, silver 6b, pawn to 9f, and white replies. And black now develops with silver to 3g. White plays pawn 6d, signaling reclining silver. So this is one of the famous joseki today, as the rapid advancing silver versus reclining silver in white's one turn loss bishop exchange. Okay, black develops his silver to 4f. Silver 6c, and yes, black goes for the attack, pawn to 3. Okay, so one of the variations is that white takes it, and silver recaptures, and silver to 5d. Now that's one option, but in this game, Habu adopted this variation. He played pawn to 4d, not taking that pawn. So this is also one of the major lines. Okay, basically black now takes the pawn on 3d, white recaptures. Now white lost protection to the 2d square, so black goes ahead to that square, pawn 2d. White takes, rook recaptures. Well, it's a powerful fork, of course, but he has prepared this move. Go to 2c, very powerful move. Black has to go back to 2h, and pawn drop to 2d. So white has made a great thickness on the second file. Okay, black now plays pawn to 5f. Pretty interesting move. Well, he could also drop a pawn to 3e, running. That's one thing. And pawn to 3f is sometimes also played, trying to develop his silver to there in the next move. But anyway, he played pawn to 5f. Okay, now white plays knight to 3c, advancing the knight. Silver 7g, and pawn to 4e, attacking the silver. And the next move is pretty exciting. Instead of going back, Sato advanced the silver to 5e. Okay, great. Well, if white leaves it that way, maybe black can further develop the silver to 4d, and white didn't want that. He just played silver to 4c, going back, protecting that square. But after seeing this move, Sato played this move that he has been preparing. It was bishop drop to 3e. Okay, he's attacking this pawn, but also it's aiming at this pawn. Yeah, he's gonna take that pawn, despite the fact it's actually protected with the gold. So let's see the consequences here. And well, this bishop drop was the last move of the first day. So Habu made a seal move for the next move, and the next morning the seal move was open, and that was king to 6b, protecting the 5c square. So he went for the right hand king, knowing that black's gonna break this second file. Okay, so here's the point of that bishop drop. Now black takes a pawn on 2d. Well, if white takes it, white can win material, but look at this. There's nothing white can do to stop the rook from promoting, so actually white can't take it. So white played pawn to 2e, blocking the rook. Okay, now basically the bishop now has to go back, right? It's gonna be taken with the gold. But here, Sato used his thinking time for 51 minutes to make this move. He played rook to 3h. Wow, this is great. If white takes the bishop, black can promote, attacking the gold, and also making a powerful dragon. So yeah, actually white couldn't take this bishop. So white played silver to 3d again. So now bishop has to go back to 6h. But now pawn to 2f, threatening a pawn promotion. And black calmly withdrawn on the second file. He dropped the pawn to 2h. Well, now on the second file, black is now pushed back, but point is that white has no pawn in his hand. That's what we call a pawn shortage. So black is doing pretty good here. Okay, now white played gold to 5b, an important move, and black now starts to castle to 6i. Now white even goes ahead with the gold advancement to 4c. You see what he's trying to do? He's trying to push this pawn in the next move, trying to kick the silver back to 6f. Well, if the silver has to go back, then black's attack will be stopped for some time, and black doesn't want that. But actually, black has a very, very good idea at this position. Look at Sato's great idea. He played bishop to 5i. Okay, what he's trying to do is, he has prepared this move. If white pushes this pawn, black can make this check, and since white is in a pawn shortage, it's kind of a disaster for white. You know, the silver can't advance here now. So white can't push this pawn after bishop to 5i. Okay, so yeah, white tries to protect the pawn on 2f with the silver. 2e. Okay, black calmly keeps castling the king to 6, 7i. Okay, what if he pushes this pawn now? Well, then black can make this attack challenge the silver, and since this silver has to protect this pawn, the silver can't move. Well, so if white takes it, black takes, white takes. Well, white has gained material, but still it's a pawn shortage. So it's not very comfortable for white to do that. So he didn't push the pawn to 5d. He calmly played gold 3d from the left. So black managed to castle to 8h. Great. Okay, now pawn to 7d. Well, it seems a very natural move. Maybe he's just trying to develop the knight in the next move. But actually, it wasn't that. Actually, Habu wants to move his king to 7c. Well, the reason is he wants to get rid of that bishop check on this diagonal. And what is great is that Sato knew about idea that he wanted to move the king to 7c. So he played pawn to 6f. Well, this is great. He's challenging this file, and if white makes that move, look at this, bishop to 3g, and if white pushes this pawn, he can sack his silver and attack along this diagonal. So a very good pawn push on 6f here. Right, so white has no choice but to now push the pawn to 5d, because you know 6e is going to be attacked, so he has to push back the silver. But as I've said, here comes knight leap over to 1g, attacking the silver. So white has to take the silver, black takes the silver. Well, taking with the gold is too dangerous. You know, the rook's attack is directly going to 3c. So he has to take with the knight, so black can take the pawn on 2f, checking. Since white has no pawn, white can't block it. Oh, well, one thing here, instead of taking this silver, he can take this pawn, right? Gaining one silver in his hand, and after this check, he can drop it to here, blocking. But in this case, black can simply take with the rook. Very powerful, you know, threatening a discovery, check in the next move. So white had to pick this pawn, so take the silver on 5e, and a powerful check. So white plays silver to 4d, but very good silver drop to 3b. Well, this move works because of white's pawn shortage. White played gold to 3c sideways, but with silver promotion to 2c, a great sacrifice. Well, if white takes it, bishop sacrificing for d, checking, and rook promotion. Great. It's beautiful. So white can't take this gold. Okay, white played knight drop to 3g. Okay, interesting. Black takes the gold on 3c, gold recaptures. But you know, this silver is pinned. It's pretty dangerous. And gold drop to 2d. Attacking the gold and attacking this knight. Well, it's a fork because this silver cannot take it back, right? Because of this bishop. So white had no choice but to move the king to 7c, now getting away with the bishop diagonal. Okay, now black played gold to 3c, taking. But after that, Sato thought he shouldn't have done that. He should have calmly saved this gold from the knight's attack. Because, you know, if white takes it, dangling pawn, and it's not so comfortable trying to promote in the next move with this diagonal. If white takes it, the king will be vulnerable. So that's one option. But white simply took the gold to 3c. Silver captures. Okay, but bishop promotion to 7a. Gold to 7b. Well, black's not gonna take this rook. That's a welcome for white. So black should leave the rook there, and he played horse to 6a, attacking the knight. Okay, but pawn to 5f, threatening pawn promotion. Okay, gold to 4h. Now it seems black's doing pretty good, but here comes Habu's magical move. He actually dropped his silver to here, 2i. Well, interesting. Okay, black has to run to 3i, but then pawn promotion, sacrifice to 5g. Well, very good move sequence if black takes it. Okay, bishop fork. But Sato found a very good attack, very good counterattack. Rook to 5i. Great. White can't take it. Black can promote. And, well, if pawn drop, well, black will just take it. So, yeah. It's a very good rook's maneuver. But pawn drop to 5f. Okay, now from here black played horse to 5a. Yeah, forking the king and the silver. So king runs and he took the silver. Yeah, pretty good. But, you know, the king is now a little bit safer than before. So actually, Sato thought after the game, he should have just played horse to 2e, followed by 2f and 3g. And look at this diagonal. He can threaten a knight drop to 6c. Yeah, that was one option. But anyway, he played horse to 5a, 4 king, and he took the silver. Okay, so but here, a very violent attack comes over. It's bishop drop to 6g. Well, Sato actually didn't see this move. Yeah, so he was stunned. Now what should black do? It's pretty dangerous, you know. Okay, so black had no choice but to take it. Okay, took in to 6g. Well, it's dangerous. Black had to drop a gold to 7i. But a very good silver sacrifice to 3h. Wow. Well, if black takes it, well, I don't know what white's gonna do. White can promote this pawn, or, well, maybe gold drop to 5i, 5h. Well, I'm not sure. If he runs, like rook is dead. Oh, is that a good move? But anyway, black couldn't take this, so he moved the rook over to 5f. So white takes the gold. Well, white's doing pretty good. Black had to drop a silver to 6h, but he didn't take it. Well, great. He didn't take it and moved the silver, promoted silver to 5h. Well, because black cannot take it, it gets gold drop on 5g. It's very sticky to black's king, so black has to find a very good defense, and black found that. It was horse to 2d. Great defense. You know, horse's defense is worth 3 generals. Okay, white tried to block it for once, but yeah, he's gonna take it with the horse, and he anyway has to take the silver. On 7g, knight recaptures, promoted silver 6h, but horse takes. Okay, black's king is safer now. Okay, silver dropped to 5d, blocking the rook. Okay, now rook moves to 2f, attacking the horse. Now attacking the knight. Well, he can move it to 3f, trying to promote, but it's better than promotion to just simply take the knight. Yeah, actually that's better. And okay, now white played silver to 5e, not caring about the knight. Well, if black takes it, silver can come over to here, running away from the rook, and you know, the silver can rip off this knight in the next move. I know he can drop the knight again to 6e or 8e, So it's pretty uncomfortable for black, so he didn't want it to be happen, so black didn't take the knight and he dropped the silver to 6g. But now Habu agrees that he doesn't want to lose his knight on 2e, so he dropped the gold to 3d. Very powerful defense. Well, it's not only protecting the knight, he can drop his silver in the next move, attacking the rook. You know, if the rook runs another gold drop on 2f, well, the rook is gonna be dead. But, well, yeah, it's okay. Black can simply drop a pawn to 3e. Yeah, Sato calmly did that, and he thought it was fine. But it was very, very careless of him, because Habu actually has prepared a magical move here. So why don't you pause the video and take a look at this position carefully and see if you can come up with Habu's next move. Alright, the next move was this. Silver drop to 5i, a magical sacrifice. Well, this is great. If black takes it, I can take this pawn. If the rook runs, pawn drop, and the rook is dead, so black can only take this knight. And actually, white's not gonna take this rook. He can just take this horse. Black can promote, but promoting knight to 4g, and I think black is starting to lose here. So actually, black couldn't take the silver on 5i. But if he takes this gold, he can take this horse. He loses the horse and bishop fork. Great. So yeah, black is in trouble. What is gonna do? But he took a deep breath and came up with this move. He moved very calmly, horse to 5g, still protecting this pawn. But yeah, of course, Habu even now chases the horse with 0 to 4h unpromote. Okay, if the horse goes back, it can be a repetition, and moreover, he can also drop a gold here. Black has to take it, and now it's gonna be the same thing, bishop fork. So yeah, anyway, at this position, finally black had to take the silver, so Sato played horse takes silver. Yeah, but difference is whether the horse is on 5i or 4h, and actually 4h is a little bit better for black, so that's why black chose this square to take the silver. He wanted to take the silver here, so you know, white placed gold to 3e, of course, and this time he's not gonna take this knight. It's gonna be the same thing. So in this case, horse is protecting these squares, so it's a little bit better. And here black played bishop drop to 3c. Well, taking the silver and making a horse on 5e is critical at this position, and Habu again agrees with it, so he dropped his gold to 4e. Great move. Okay, so pawn drop to 5f. Well, after the game, Sato thought he should have dropped the pawn to 5d, and well, if he takes it now, pawn drop, that should be better. It's also attack both the silver, but he simply dropped this pawn, and that was very good. White took the rook now, black takes the silver, but here's a very interesting knight sack, horse takes, and pawn drop to 5f, threatening a pawn promotion. Well, this is great, but here Sato made a great move too. He made an all or nothing move, chance-taking move of pawn push to 5d. Well, Habu was surprised with this move, and well, once he makes this pawn push, it's one way to go. White has to go ahead promoting, black promotes, white takes the silver, horse recaptures the attack in the gold, but rook to 3h, silver 6h. Well, even if he can take this bishop, he didn't do that. He dropped the silver to 5f. Okay, black took it, gold recaptures, and he took the silver on 6c, gold recaptures. Well, he could drop the silver to 7a. Yeah, that's a very good move. Well, if rook to 3b, maybe bishop promotion to 4d could work, you know, if attacking the gold. So that's okay for black. So well, anyway, desperately moved the gold to 5g, sorry, 6g. The silver takes the rook, king recaptures, and black found a decisive move. rook drop to 6a, attacking the gold. But it's not only attacking the gold. This is actually a threat mate. Start from silver, sacrifice to 8c. Well, let's see that. If he takes it, one square gap dragon check. So if he runs, maybe silver drop and take it. Yeah, it's not so difficult. So the fact that this was a threat mate made black have a winning position. So white plays silver to 7b, but black can drop a silver to 7a. King runs. He takes the gold, sacking the dragon, and gold drop to 8b. King runs, and bishop drop to 5a. Well, it's basically brinkmate. He can drop a knight here, and that will be a mate. And he can even simply attack with this knight, and he can drop the silver to there, right? And well, he can take this knight by checking, but if he has a gold, he can drop it to 8c, and it's a checkmate. So it's a brinkmate, and white has to mate this king, black's king. Can he do that? Well, he desperately dropped the rook to 7h. Gold recaptures, and gold recaptures. Now he played king to 9h, and by seeing this move, Habu resigned. Well, the last move, the king close, is very important. If he carelessly takes it, bishop sack. Well, if he takes it, gold drop, he runs. Discover check, and checkmate. How about he runs? Well, I guess gold sack would work, and rook check has to run. And silver checking, and runs and dragon check. So, actually, it was pretty dangerous, but Sato made the correct move. King to 9h, and there's no mate. He can drop a gold, he can run. Well, there are several checks, but it's not gonna work. So it was a very exciting game. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.